Welcome back everybody to another update video, and yeah, we've got 7 films to look at today, most of which are actually from Indicator, but I've got a couple that aren't. And yeah, the first of which is a really rather underrated film from the 90s, from a comedian that had a great many success in that decade, but this is probably his less successful film, but not because it's a bad film, but because I think people weren't really anticipating it, because he's usually into more lighter comedy films. But this is a dark comedy film, The Cable Guy, which I absolutely adore. I think it's a really good performance from Jim Carrey. It's not my favourite film from him from the decade, because I think The Truman Show and Liar and The Mask are probably better than this, but on the whole this is still really rather good, and just shows that he could do something a bit different, because yeah, it's definitely more of a dark comedy than anything else. It's also got Mafaa in it, who is pretty good, certainly better in this than he was in Godzilla. And yeah, really funny from beginning to end, pretty much. Got a good soundtrack as well, and yeah, even got a good supporting cast as well. You got Owen Wilson, you got Jack Black in this as well, so yeah, really a real 90s film in terms of its cast, but yeah, still a film that holds up nonetheless. And then we've got a film from, who is this again? Oh yeah, Eureka, who have put in a great many kind of films. And yeah, this is another one of my favourites, and it is Journey to the Centre of the Earth, a real classic 1950s sci-fi film from 1959. Yeah, A Cable Guy, by the way, was from 1996, so right before the likes of Liar. But yeah, Journey to the Centre of the Earth is a really good classic 50s sci-fi film. It's really quite cheesy at times, and a little bit plodding in terms of pacing, because it is nearly 2 hours 10 minutes long. So yeah, it's not going to be for everyone, but this is the kind of film that I really rather like. And yeah, got a good cast as well: Pat Boone, James Mason and Arlene Dahl. And yeah, from a book by Jules Verne, who's done, who did many books in the 19th century, I think, dealing with sci-fi stuff and the like. And yeah, got a nice booklet with this as well, which takes you through the crew and the cast and all that lot. And yeah, got some images from the film itself. So yeah, the special effects aren't particularly brilliant. They are something of the time. Not quite Ray Harryhausen levels, but still fairly decent. And yeah, you get a bunch of posters in different languages as well. You got your English posters there, which I actually really like seeing, because it just shows that not every country was 100% truthful at the times in terms of what was being shown. And there's another one. Certainly not as bad as some, foreign posters of Japanese films, because I've seen some hilariously, deceitful posters from kaiju films from Japan in the 60s and 70s, which showed films in other countries that were apparently something completely different. But yeah, single disc, only on Blu-ray, but yeah, that's fine by me, because I've never watched a DVD version of a film when I already have it on Blu-ray. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 films from Indicator. All of these I bought after seeing them, apart from one, basically because it's a 3 for 30 deal, and if you buy 2 of them separately it's £26, so you may as well just gamble on a film you've never seen before for only a £4 extra. So yeah, but firstly, a film that wasn't in that deal is Bellman and True. Now, this is one of the few films I've watched this year that I've bought immediately after seeing it. And yeah, it's a superb mix of heist, thriller and drama. Got a sensational performance from Bernard Lee, who, if you're from the UK, you'll probably know from the likes of Doctor Who. And yeah, but I didn't really know much about this going into this. And yeah, all I knew out of it was was the fact that Bernard Lee was in it. Never heard of any of the other cast, not heard of the director or anything like that. And yeah, in parts you probably could think it is a TV movie, because it does have some of that kind of 80s TV movie vibe to it. But once the finale kicks in, especially, it is definitely a cinematic film, and not just a cheapo TV one, that's for sure. And yeah, you got a really nice booklet. Again, like Journey to the Centre of the Earth, you've got all the cast and crew being listed in there. Although when I did actually look up the cast, I did notice some names in there that I might well have seen in films before, or at least know of in stuff before. And then yeah, there's Bernard Lee, and yeah, you got a write-up there by Kevin Lyons that was written in 2019. And yeah, it's a really good film. Sensational performances. Got a really good relationship between Bernard Hill's character and his stepson, and yeah, it's got a really tense heist in it, which is always nice to see. There's a original poster there. I think it's original anyway. And yeah, there's Bernard Lee with his stepson, well, the character of his stepson. And yeah, it's a superb film. Really, really good characterization. Got a cracking finale, which is incredibly tense. And yeah, even got a really rather fun car chase as well once he escaped from the heist. So yeah, sensational film. Now, another film that wasn't part of that 3 for 30 deal is an odd one, but is a great one nonetheless. The Day of the Dolphin. Now, this has George C. Scott in it, which was probably the main reason I got it, because I've enjoyed a lot of his films recently, the likes of Hardcore. I think it was in The New Centurions, or might have been, but also in The Changeling, The Exorcist 3. So he's been in a great many films that I've seen so far, and yeah, this is another one of his great ones. Primarily, it's a great one because of him, but yeah, the plot is a little bit ludicrous. Basically, George C. Scott is able to teach a pair of dolphins to talk, well, at least one dolphin to talk back to him in the English language. And yeah, basically his research and the dolphins get stolen to try and assassinate the president of the US. So yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous, but I really enjoyed it. And yeah, it's got single disc again, like the other ones. But yeah, as again, you get a really nice booklet. There's George C. Scott there. And I think that's the director on the rear there. Really thin in terms of width booklets. It's often they're a bit wider than that. But yeah, it's got a fantastic score on it as well. The name of the guy that did the score passes me by. I'm going to read up now on the music now. George Delarue. Now, a weird fact, he also in the same year did the score for The Day of the Jackal, which is a bit of a weird coincidence that he did this 2 scores for 2 same year films that have The Day of in the title. So yeah, but the score is amazing. It's basically a mix between Ennio Morricone and Pino D'Annunzio, and yeah, it's with a little bit of a French flair because he is French. So yeah, superb score. I really enjoyed the film. It's not the best paced film. It's not the easiest of films to get into because of its really rather ridiculous premise, but George C. Scott anchors the whole thing, and yeah, the plot overall is engrossing throughout. So yeah, really, really worth watching that. Although obviously, if you don't want the limited edition version, which is quite a bit more expensive with the booklet and everything, then it will get cheaper eventually when the standard version comes out. And yeah, these 3 for 30 films that I talked about earlier were all the standard versions. And the first one is the one that I haven't actually seen, and that is Never Take Sweets from a Stranger. It's a Hammer film, so it should be good, but I can't remember if I've seen anything from the cast before. But yeah, it's only 81 minutes long. It's from 1960, right around the time when Hammer were doing a lot of great films. So yeah, I'm kind of confident that it'll be good. Just a shame that it's in a normal blue case rather than the clear ones that we've seen before. But yeah, regardless, I hope it's a good film. And yeah, if I end up getting around to watching it, I'll hopefully give it a review at some point. And then we have the second best film from the 3 that were in the 30 deal, and that is Charlie Varick with the great Walter Mafaa. But yeah, directed by Don Siegel, who did a bunch of films with Clint Eastwood. The first Dirty Harry film, for instance. But yeah, Don Siegel was around a lot longer than this. He also did one of the Columbia Noir films that we've seen. I think it was the one with Eli Wallach in it. The Lineup, that's it. Yeah, that was a great film as well. So yeah, this is another fantastic heist film, but the heist is only really the beginning part. The rest of the film is about what Mafaa trying to escape the cops and get back on the people that are trying to steal the money back from him, because he steals money from the mob of all people. So yeah, never a good idea, but yeah, really good film. Not a particularly deep film, not a particularly complicated plot either, but a really, really solid and entertaining one. And yeah, it does a great deal. And you'll notice there that actor there was in the first Dirty Harry film. He played Scorpio, the villain in that first film. So yeah, a nice bit of a continuation between one of the cast members and the director there. But my absolute favourite film out of all of these, the ones that I've seen, and definitely my favourite out of the 3 for 30 deal, is Experiment in Terror, starring the great Glenn Ford as well as Lee Remick. And yeah, it's also directed by Blake Edwards, who's most well known for doing the Pink Panther films, and this is complete opposite to those films, quite frankly, because yeah, it's extremely tense. It's only a 12, but it does have moderate threat and violence to it. And yeah, it's got really good cinematography, a highly engrossing plot. And yeah, the race says it all pretty much. Terror, tension, almost more than the part can bear. Not quite to that level, but yeah, definitely one that has a lot of tension going for it. And yeah, Glenn Ford is superb in the lead role. Again, single disc, nothing particularly special about the release, but the film itself is definitely special. And yeah, it's got a great score by Henry Mancini as well, who I think also did the score for Pink Panther as well. So yeah, really, really solid film. And yeah, kind of looks like it inspired like the giallo genre of films as well. You know, with the black glove there and the fact that you don't really see the killer or the guy that is threatening the woman, at least, his face for a vast majority of the runtime as well. So yeah, but basically she's a bank clerk and he's wanting her to cooperate in robbing the bank. So that's basic premise of the plot, really. But yeah, fantastic series of films. Only one I haven't seen, and I hope it is good. But either way, 6 great films there that I've seen, and hopefully another one that will top it off as well. That will be really good. So yeah, I know I've been slacking a bit in terms of doing these kind of videos, but money and not many films that I've been wanting have been out there lately, so that's why. But yeah, September is going to be chock full of releases. We've got the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy on Steelbook coming out. We've got the Cold War Creatures box set coming out. We have Johnny Guitar on Masters of Cinema. Then we also have, what was it? Oh yeah, the Columbia Noir #4 box set. So we have a great deal to come out in September. And then even in October, we've got a great many releases as well. The first 5 films in the Halloween series are getting 4K releases. I'm only getting the first 3 because they're the 3 I actually like, but still, they're 3 of many films that are coming out in October as well. So yeah, hopefully the next couple of months are going to be really busy. But yeah, nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.